Usually we, thank you. The recording is in progress. I got it. I would have forgotten that, Megan. Thank you so much. So this is the opportunity that we wanted to take as board members to present to you some of the things that we have worked on this past year and where we're going to go for next year. And that we could share with you some opportunities for the membership to join some of our committees and to work on a committee with us, which would be most appreciated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I'll do a little bit of introduction, but some of you can do some introduction of yourself when it's your time to report on your committees. But the first person I'm going to call on is Jimmy. Jimmy Morris is our vice president. He is also chair of our strategic planning committee. And he's going to report on the strategic plan that was just passed by the board last night and other activities of the committee. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Awesome. Thank you, Eileen. Appreciate it. Again, like you said, my name is Jimmy Morris. I am currently in OMC and I am teaching in Virginia at the Virginia Rehabilitation Center. And I've been teaching the field for about almost 7-8 years now. So it's been a while. I've done a little itinerant work and field work as well. But really what I want to talk about today is talking about what we've been doing over the last couple of years and what we've accomplished this year and kind of where our vision and goals are moving forward. Over the last couple of years, we've really kind of started thinking about how are we going to move this organization forward and continue to keep growing it, continue to keep growing it. So we started really thinking about putting policies and procedures in place. So as new officers take over, they're not starting fresh again. So last year, at the end of previous year, and the end of last year, in the beginning of this year, we finally completed the policies and procedures, just putting down what we do on a daily basis. So it's kind of in writing. So it's there. That's one of the big things that we've done there, just kind of setting those stages. The other thing is we wanted to protect our trademark, OMSA, Orientation Mobility Specialists Association, and our letters, OMSA. So we did apply for a trademark. We were granted one, and it's still pending waiting on the other one. So we were granted a trademark for the actual initials, OMSA. That was probably done in last June of June of 2023 when it was finally done. That's a long process. I had no clue how long it was. The government moves at a very slow pace. It took almost a year to get the approval on that. And we had a little glitch in one, but Miss Eileen pulled some magic there for us and helped us out. And we're still continuing to kind of wait to see if that gets approved for the actual name, Orientation Mobility Specialists Association. So that's kind of still pending, just so we have that trademark there as we move forward. The big thing that we've worked on in 2023 is developing what our mission and goals and developing a strategic plan that helps our organization, kind of guide our organization to move forward. And then that was actually just approved last night by the board, and that will be posted on our website in the very near future as well, what our mission statement, what the strategic plan is. But I'm going to kind of give you a quick summary or overview. First thing, part of the strategic plan is really about what our overall mission is, what our organization's about, and how we plan on growing that organization forward, bringing together NOMCs, comms, and guide dog trainers together as one. So that's kind of really where our focus is. And then we really broke it down into all the committees that you're going to hear about today and what they're doing and what they've done. And that's one thing that I would love to say. I mean, as I've seen over the last 2 years, our committees are really truly doing a lot of work now, where we're really starting to see a lot of different momentum and stuff like that. You're going to hear a lot of big firsts for this year, which is really I'm really excited about. So each of our committees basically had to set down what goals do they want to try to reach in 2024. And they've all set those goals, and you're probably going to hear a little bit more about those this evening as well. And this just gives us a guide to kind of manage those and go back and give us a report card at the end of the year. What did we do? Or 3 months from now, we want to accomplish this, but we haven't started on this. What should we do? Just kind of give us a little guide to help us move us forward. That's really what the strategic plan is about, because it's helping us guide us to help us move the organization forward. That is typically that is my report there, Miss Eileen. And I think you said you take questions at the end.
Yeah, we'll take questions at the end.
Yep.
If you have a burning question, you can put it in chat. Thanks, Jimmy.
Mhm.
And I'm going to call on Susan. Susan Langendunk is our treasurer, and she's she has a treasurer's report for us. And she's also chair of the finance committee. Susan, you're muted on my screen. Can you hear me? There she comes.
I am muted, and my third job is I'm in the barn feeding horses. So could I get behind somebody else?
Sure. Whenever you want to come in, just let me know.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, but Susan, we usually have her go first so she can get out to the barn, but since this meeting is an hour later, she's now in the barn. Okay, let's move on to Megan. Megan is our secretary and has been doing a lot of work even with our website, but she's also chair of our continuing education committee. So Megan, can you give a report?
Thank you. So the OMSA Continuing Education Committee is actually a new pilot committee. It just began in March of 2023. The committee consists of the following members. So myself, as Eileen mentioned, Kristen Sims, Liz Delgado, Taylor McCaffrey, and then Eileen Sifferman is our ex officio member. The goals of this committee are to develop and follow procedures for offering continuing education for O&M and guide dog professionals, to offer at least 3 90-minute presentations registered with ACVREP. The OMSA would offer CEs to members at no charge. And then finally, our third goal is to provide offer presentations based on membership surveys on issues that affect the field of O&M and guide dog mobility, including multiple disabilities and current research. Our goal progress as of November 29th, 2023 is as follows. So first, the committee has created procedures for offering continuing education opportunities for O&M and guide dog professionals. These procedures have been approved by the board. Then so far, 2 90-minute presentations have already taken place. Those presentations are successful strategies employed by O&M candidates and blind O&M specialists, and that was presented by Dr. Nora Griffin-Shirley and Dr. Laura Bozeman. The impact of that presentation was that we had 52 attendees, and then 62 OMSA members received 1.5 CEs from ACVREP. The second presentation that we held was wheelchair orientation and mobility, including wheelchair guide dogs. And that was presented by Lee Stanway, who presented all the way from the UK. So that was really cool. The impact of that presentation was we had 34 attendees, and then 27 members are pending 1.5 CEUs from ACVREP. The committee has offered presentations that align with identified OMSA member needs. So we actually went back and looked at a May 2022 survey, which some of you may have been completed. The needs that were highlighted from that survey included multiple disabilities, access technology, navigation apps, working with the senior population, experiential learning, guide dogs, consumer organizations, professional blogs, liability, and structured discovery. And then finally, I wanted to share a few of the upcoming and pending presentation topics that we have. First one, February 8th, is O&M in the deafblind world, and that is presented by Monica Godfrey-Lair. And you can register for that now, actually, on our website, and I will put that in the chat. Next, O&M assessment versus evaluation, and that's going to be with Dr. Justin Kaiser, who's here today. The date on that is pending. Then we're going to have a presentation on working with paraprofessionals, and that's going to be by Dr. Nick Casillas. And again, that date is pending, but probably will take place next summer of 2024. And then finally, working with seniors, and that date and presenter is pending. And that concludes my portion of the reports for tonight.
Thanks, Megan.
I can go ahead, Eileen, if you like.
Okay, here's Susan. Susan, our treasurer. Okay, Susan, thanks.
Sorry about that. Horses get very noisy if they're not fed. So they're all fed.
So do humans.
Yeah, yes. So I'm Susan Langendonk, and I'm the treasurer and chair of the finance committee. Other members of the committee are Jimmy Morris, Kristen Opplinger, and Liz Robinson. Eileen attends as ex officio. So our funds are held in the One AZ Credit Union in Arizona, where we are incorporated. Income is largely from membership dues, although we do accept donations which are put into the general fund or into the Janet Barlow Legacy Fund if designated as such by the individual. So currently we have a total of $52,704.76 in savings and draft accounts. $28,498.93 of that is in the general fund, and $24,205.83 is in the Janet Barlow Legacy Fund. Expenses this year include subscription payments for Zoom, MailChimp, which is used for our blast emails to the membership, Green Geeks, which is where our domain name is registered and our website is housed, and Dropbox. Other expenses are for ACREP CEUs, legal fees for our trademark registry, miscellaneous items such as external hard drives and signage, which we've used at conferences. And we've also paid some speaker honoraria. So my term is done at the end of this calendar year. And so the goals going on, since I've been the only treasurer, are to make sure that there are procedures for transition from one person to another so that the financial dealings of the association are consistent. And one of the other things that I started this year was the use of Quicken as a bookkeeping tool so that it is a little more, quite a bit more standard, and then that would be going on forward. So those are kind of the goals, just to maintain the financial integrity of the association, transparency, and ease of transition from one individual to another. Thank you, Eileen.
Mm-hmm. And a big thank you to Susan. Susan was one of the initial people who started the organization 5.5 years ago, and has been a support and leader within the board. And I truly appreciate her contribution, and we'll miss, we're going to keep her involved, but we'll miss her being on the board. So thanks so much, Susan. It's been a pleasure working with you over these years and building our friendship. And I appreciate all of you, all that you have done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it's sort of sad in a way, but anyways, life goes on. Our next person to present, we're going to call on Kristen. If you would present on membership and the membership committee activity.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Kristen Opplinger, and along with my fellow membership committee members, Tommy Strauss, Vicki McLean, Mark Companion, and of course, Eileen as our ex officio member, we have been working very hard on the membership committee, which was just formed last November. So it's still a relatively new committee. We are excited to report that from last December until now, membership has increased. I've been told about 25%, or exactly 25%, thanks to Jimmy crunching some numbers for me. We were at 155 members at the end of December 2022. And this morning, as of 6 a.m., we are at 195 members. So we are just about at that 200 mark, which will be a very exciting day. We have been working really hard in the membership committee. We've been doing a lot of brainstorming this year because one of our major goals is to figure out how to provide as much value as we can to members. Fortunately, a lot of the other committees are working towards the same goal, which is really excellent. But one of the ways that we've really focused on providing some value to the members is with our new Pay It Forward funds. We're really seeking to give back to membership or to people in the field that are looking to do something innovative and unique and maybe just need a couple extra dollars. So we're looking to give away up to $500 to an individual or a group that could use some extra funding to promote the field of O&M or guide dog mobility. So if you guys know of anybody, we've sent out a couple emails, and the link is on our Facebook page about our Pay It Forward funds. We'd love for you to nominate that friend, that coworker, a parent, maybe somebody that's interested in O&M but just doesn't have the resources to kind of take the first couple steps to get into it. Maybe it's somebody that wants to attend a conference to find out more about it and needs some extra funding. Maybe it's a school group that would love some extra funds for field trips. I know teachers are often short of resources, so we'd love to step in and be able to help a little bit with that. You could also nominate yourself. Maybe there's something really cool that you'd like to do that you would just like some extra resources for. So OMS is here to help. We're really excited about it. It's our first year doing this, but hopefully it won't be our last. So please, please, please spread the word, and we look forward to seeing everybody's great ideas.
Good. Great. Thanks, Kristen. The other thing that the membership committee or Kristen has been doing too is sending out and contacting non-renewal members and also welcoming new members. And I think that has been appreciated by the membership to either get those reminders if they have forgot to pay their membership dues. And I'm sure the new members appreciate the welcoming from Kristen and on her efforts. So thanks for doing that. I appreciate that. Okay, Sarah will talk to us about the Barlow Initiative Committee.
Yeah, I'm Sarah, and I'm on the Barlow Initiative Committee along with Jen Graham, our chair, Bonnie Dodson-Burke, BZ Benson, Lucas Frank, and Amanda Gooch. I came on as the student member, but now they've graciously allowed me to keep on participating. The committee was formed as a result of the Janet Barlow Legacy Fund that was established, and our goal is to distribute those funds in a way that furthers cooperation between traffic engineers and people within the mobility world, comms, NOMC, GDMIs, further that level of understanding. So to that end, we have put on a few events, and we have started some relationships with some university programs as well. We had an event at SOMA conference at Tampa in December of last year, and we had 50 O&M specialists and 10 traffic engineers from the Tampa area that all came together for a day. It was a full day workshop, and it was combining some engineers learning from O&Ms, some O&Ms learning from engineers. We had opportunities to go out into some local intersections and discuss some design issues, and then everybody split up into groups and did that with a local engineer, and then they came back and discussed their findings, and it was great. And we are working on repeating or close to repeating that type of a session at Pendel AER in upcoming April. We also worked with the University of Kentucky with Justin Kaiser, and we had virtually sat down with the engineering department there at the university. And then from that contact, they were able to connect with some local engineers who then attended a day-long session with Dr. Kaiser's O&M cohort, his current O&M cohort, and they talked about, I believe you said, traffic controls and intersection design, and then went out onto the street as well to discuss more intersections. And I believe they have plans to continue that partnership, which is very exciting. And we're hopeful to continue that with more university programs that have both engineering programs and orientation and mobility programs. One of our members has offered to BZ has offered to do a 3-workshop series on ProAg. So we're on the workings of figuring out how exactly we want to do that, but that's an exciting thing that's upcoming. And we also rolled out the Janet Barlow Initiative Contact Database, which is basically a way for us to connect to people who are interested in environmental access, whether that be that we're trying to host an event in their area or for this upcoming webinars. And we have around 272 responses as of yesterday, which is exciting. So yeah, that's what we have going on.
Great.
What does PROAC stand for?
Pedestrian right-of-way and accessibility guidelines.
Very nice. Okay.
Public rights of way, sorry. If I'm not
Thanks.
mistaken.
Okay, thanks. And we'll have more about that. And I think Lucas will talk about that, which leads me right into Lucas. Lucas, you want to talk about the activities committee? I know two of your members have sent in some information, but I'm sure they shared it with you too. Lucas is the chair of our activities committee.
Actually, they didn't, so I'd love to hear what they submitted. I'm glad they put it in. Most of what we've been doing is working on keeping the Mobility Monday activities going with support from many of you, and I would like to request more support. We need ideas to come from membership on presentations they would like to see happen on Mobility Mondays. But we've had some really exciting ones, including an excellent presentation by our own Sarah Dauk on deaf-blind communication in the mobility field. We had a presentation by Chris Muldoon on depression and the relationship between depression and emotional states of getting a guide dog that was absolutely spectacular. So it's been a really successful. The Mobility Mondays have just been wonderful. We need to increase our I don't know how, but I'd love to increase attendance at those events. I don't know how to advertise those better. Kristen has been doing a wonderful job of putting blasts out on Facebook, but I think with some exceptions, our attendance has been a little bit lacking. We continue to support the field through a pamphlet like this. This is available for download on our website, and I would encourage board members to download it and work with it. I'd be happy to help and support people in doing this. This is designed to be distributed to optometrists and ophthalmologists to have a resource that they can give to people that they're giving negative diagnoses to. It's customizable on the back. That's the New Jersey Commission for the Blind, as well as two organizations, including the Seeing Eye, that support people with vision loss in the state of New Jersey. But it's a completely customizable on a state by state or organization by organization basis, including, for example, private contractors could put their own information on the back of a pamphlet like this and use it in that way. We're excited about the idea of using Mobility Monday as a platform to educate the field about PROAG and I think we have agreement that we're going to use the Mobility Monday platform in a special sort of format going forward, with 3 consecutive Mondays of BZ talking about aspects of PROAG. And I look forward to hearing what's happening with that. Eileen, if you have more information from my other committee members on what they put in, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, from BC, the first session would be PROAG. What is it, and what does it apply to? When does it take effect? This is something that BC gave to the Barlow Initiative Committee. The second session would be the accessibility, pedestrian signals, and audible information devices. When and where are they required, and what features must they have? And the third section is detectable warnings, roundabout, pedestrian actuated beacons, and so she'll be talking about that. All of the Mobility Mondays are recorded. And Lucas, you want to just talk a little bit about the live binder?
Sure. Under resources on the web page, somewhere in the middle of that list of resources, underneath the pamphlets and other things that are on that page, is a link to a live binder site. All of the Mobility Monday events have been recorded and are available there. The webinar, the first webinar that was done with Nora Griffin Shirley and Laura Bozeman is also available there under a separate tab. There was the recent webinar that was held by that was given by Lee Stanway about wheelchair mobility will be up as soon as the feedback period, which I guess is December 9th, Megan. At that point, will also be available on that website. I also, Kristen reminded me that one of the most important things I think that we've done is that as rare as mobility instructors are, guide dog instructors are even rarer creatures. And we don't flock well. We don't gather very often. And with an initiative started by Meredith Bride and supported by Kristen, we put together an international GDMI call with support from the OMSA board, which was amazingly successful. We had 25 guide dog instructors, most from the United States, but one from Romania, one from Argentina, and one from, who am I forgetting?
Canada?
Canada, one from Canada. So it was really a lovely event, and we're planning. We used the Facebook polling, the ability to do polls in Zoom rather, and we've decided to keep going on a quarterly basis with those calls, shifting the time zone so we can get more of Asia and Europe involved going forward. So a very exciting initiative. I do want to touch again on an initiative that we started that stalled, which was to create a traveling kit for to further education to the general public of what O&M does and to help recruit young people to come into the field. I'm still working on that. I now have a case. We're still working on putting that together. It will happen. There's an interesting phenomenon here, though. I happen to have a conversation with a retired professor who's in class at the moment and getting a new dog. And he told me that at the university that he works at, the total attendance at the university has dropped, at his university, has dropped from, I think it was 25,000 undergrad to 14,000 undergrad because of the impact of distance learning. That does not bode well for our field. If that holds true across the board, Justin, you may have some thoughts on that and observations about what's happening at UK. But we're an in-person, hands-on teaching organization. They're having a drop in attendance in on-campus students. I wonder what your experience at UK is, Justin, if you don't mind me asking. I know I'm jumping the track as usual, but go ahead.
Yeah, why don't we wait on that one?
Okay.
We can maybe at the end we might have time. Yeah, the other members of your committee are
Meredith Bride and Haley McManus.
Yeah, and Haley will be leaving our board, but hopefully she'll will be active in committee work. So we look forward to that, but we want to thank her. Haley was our first student member of the board and had then served a term on the board as a COMS. So we appreciate her contribution, and hopefully she'll stay on. And the other thing that both from Haley and Meredith that was to ask for volunteers if more people would like to join the committee. Contact Lucas or Meredith. Meredith's email. Maybe Lucas, you can put yours in the chat because it's changed. But Meredith's email is on the website. So good. Thank you.
Pamphlet. See if you can't make it work. Let me know. We'll make it work.
Okay, great. The last committee that we're going to have present tonight is the Nomination Elections Committee. Justin.
Sure. Okay, so this should be nice because I should not have to talk a whole lot. Basically, we have the meeting and we do have a full ballot for the upcoming election, and hoping to send that information out, I think, on Monday. So essentially there will be a ballot coming out with all our candidates for the board. There will be 6 candidates in total for just board positions, and then there's also election and to vote for the specific officers like president, vice president, that kind of stuff. But since we do have most of those people here, it seems like a good opportunity to kind of just briefly have people introduce themselves. Actually, our only candidate for president is Eileen Zifferman. Do you want to talk about?
Oh, yeah.
Should be candidate, Eileen?
Yeah, I'm
Be
sorry.
president?
I always think everybody. Yeah, I'm Eileen Zifferman. I'm in Tucson, Arizona. I'm a COMS and a graduate of Cal State University in Los Angeles. And I've been in the field a very long time and have continued to work within the professional organizations, but also am involved with doing research, still doing some recently with Justin. I'm doing some research. And we finished the publication for the 4th edition of the Foundations of Orientation and Mobility, which should be out hopefully in the spring. We just went through and did our last revisions of the whatever those final pages are. And so and then I've been busy with OMSA.
Thank you, Eileen. Just kind of keep going through with the officers. Jimmy, our candidate for vice president and current vice president.
Yep. Well, thank you. Thank you. I kind of introduced myself a little bit. Again, this is Jimmy. I am currently at NMOC. I'm actually an NMOCT, so I'm the head of the trainers division for the National Orientation Mobility Certification. I've been doing that for about a year. Again, I've been teaching for about 8 years. I kind of got in this field a little differently probably than most. I got in the field through my own blindness and going to a rehab center, and I had what I called my midlife crisis, I guess, and decided to go back to school to teach cane travel. And I've loved it ever since. For 20 years, I was in the finance business. So 2 different worlds for sure. Sitting behind a desk and walking the streets every day in the cold. But yeah, so I've been doing this for about 2 years, for approximately about 3, little almost 4 years now on there. And I've served as vice president for the last 2 years on there. So that's kind of a little bit about me on there. So thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Our candidate for treasurer is our current board member, Liz Robertson.
Everyone. Yeah, I've been almost a board member for the past year and just kind of seeing, how I can contribute, and really excited to, be connected with all of you. I have been in the field of O&M for about 8 years now, and in the last 2, I've been in a leadership role, and so I haven't been working directly with clients anymore, but still very, very connected to the field and very passionate about O&M. And so this is one way that I feel very connected to the field, as well as, in my current job. And looking to potentially be the treasurer to hopefully fill Susan's shoes. I know she's been doing it since OMSA began. In my leadership role in Colorado, where I'm based, I deal with the finance side of decision making, managing budgets, things like that. So feel that I have that skill set, and I'm a Excel spreadsheet self-proclaimed nerd. So I think it'll be a good fit for me to be able to contribute in that way.
Thank you, Liz. And let's see. So we don't have a candidate for secretary until Megan hopefully gets reelected, and then Megan we'll have like a additional election at that point. And I'm still in the process of recruiting a student member, because we've had a student member on the board pretty much the entire time. So we also have 6 candidates for just generally being board members, and starting with those, actually Megan Friedel, our secretary and future secretary.
Hi, thanks, Justin. So my name is Megan, and I currently live in Wisconsin, but I'm actually from Illinois. I've been in the field of blindness and low vision since I think 2010. And my first job was actually in Wichita, Kansas, and as a teacher, and then I went back to school to become an O&M specialist at Northern Illinois University, and then I ended up in Wisconsin. I worked as an itinerant for several years, and then now I'm in my current role as an education consultant at the Wisconsin Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. That's just been a really fun role because you get to do a little bit of everything, still some direct instruction, but also kind of like the administrative rule side of things. And so it's just been a really neat path for my career. I've served on the OMSA board for I think about the last year and a half or so, and it's just been really fun. It's exciting to be a part of a new organization, and it seems like in the past year and a half, like I've been able to observe like so much growth. So it's just a really, I think, exciting thing to be a part of. So thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Megan. We also have Kristen Oplinger, who is also a current board member up for re-election.
Hi, everybody. I am Kristen Oplinger. I have been on the OMSA board for the past 3 years now, so I'm up for re-election for hopefully another term. I am at the Seeing Eye. I'm a guide dog mobility instructor here in New Jersey. I've been here for about 7.5 years now. Time flies. Prior to here, I was at the VA, so I taught O&M. I'm also a certified orientation mobility instructor, graduating from Western Michigan. But I taught O&M at the VA down in West Palm Beach, Florida, and up here in New Jersey for about 7 years as well. So I have really enjoyed being a member of OMSA. I think it's such a cool group because it brings together so many different aspects of mobility. I love that the two worlds of the guide dog mobility and the O&M mobility can combine and share ideas and thoughts and move the field forward. I've been involved, like I said, on the membership committee. I took over the membership list about 2 years ago and then formed our first membership committee last year. I've also been involved in the finance committee, and I do send out all of the email blasts. So I apologize if you guys get too many of them, but I think it's all great information to have. So excited for the opportunity to continue serving OMSA. Thanks.
Thank you. And we have several of our other candidates here as well. Misty Epperson, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Misty. So Dr. Kaiser was actually my professor at UK for O&M, so I blame him for anything that I didn't learn. So I've been in the field now specifically for O&M for 4 years, but before that I was a teacher of the visually impaired for 7 years. Before that I was a special education teacher where I specifically focused on students with behavior disorders. But I also was raised by my grandmother who was blind. And so I was a human guide before I even knew what the word was. And I was using a slate and stylus even before I knew what Braille was. So I've been involved in this field my whole life, and I'm very proud of it. And I'm very proud that I get to work with individuals and teach them independence and be able to travel, just like I know orientation mobility specialists did that for my grandmother. I am currently the deafblind outreach consultant for the Kentucky for the Blind, and I have my side business where I contract with OVR and teach O&M to adults who are independent living. So I have really enjoyed this field, and I look forward to being a member and hoping to learn from all of you all.
Thank you. And let me see. We have Gail Edgar. Can you introduce yourself, Gail?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Good evening, everybody. So I am a new OMSA member and hoping to find a place somewhere. I don't know, the things that attract me, or maybe the membership committee, or let's see, I wrote down a couple of things. Membership or activities. Lucas, step over. I have been in the field since 2003. Prior to that, I was a special education teacher in public school, and then went on to get my master's degree in what became in Texas what we call an educational diagnostician, working with students with learning disabilities and behavior problem issues, and being in special ed, became interested in the visually impaired population. I first became a teacher of the visually impaired, and then went back and got my, I'm a COMS from Stephen F. Austin State University, Axe and Jacks. Then, like Miss Opplinger, I went to work for the VA. I like to say to everyone that I traded snot for drool because I worked with young kids and then went to the VA to work with the older, mostly the older population. I worked in Central Texas VA. The whole field, O&M. I'm also, by the way, I'm also certified as a low vision therapist. And so I'm a teacher of the visually impaired. I'm a certified low vision therapist, and I'm a COMS. But my passion is helping people either maintain their independence or learn how to be independent in their daily lives, whether it's being able to use a device to magnify what they're trying to read, or maybe it's a head-borne device or a CCTV. But the mobility part is my bigger passion, because I live in a rural area in what we call Deep East Texas. Not a lot of services available for people. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity to get the word out about OMSA in this area. I didn't know about it. A coworker, I also do contract work, and I worked in New York City a couple of years during the summer with Hunter College, teaching their students O&M. And so I learned about OMSA from a person that I was working with. So I'm excited to maybe get the chance to work and learn from some of you.
Thank you, Gail.
Got it?
Yeah, thank you. We also have another candidate here, Desmond Jackson. You want to introduce yourself, Desmond?
Hey everybody, I'm Desmond Jackson. So I live in Baltimore, Maryland, and I feel like I've been in O&M all of my life since I was blind from an early age and started using a cane and whatnot from an early age. But professionally, I've been an NOMC for the past 13 years. I have taught center-based training for a good part of that time. Nowadays, my day job is an accessibility analyst, and I teach contractually with Division of Rehab. And I just becoming an O&M is just one of the greatest privileges I've had to work with people with these life-changing skills that we deliver. And I'm a graduate of Louisiana Tech University. Hello, Kristen. Hey, Jimmy. And so I would just love to be a part of the board. I've been involved with OMSA pretty much from the beginning as a member, and it would be my pleasure to work with the board and continue to work with OMSA to advance our profession in terms of awareness about O&M and just finding new and creative ways to get services to the people we serve. So thank you, and nice to be with y'all this evening.
Thank you, Desmond. And that's all I see. So we do have one more candidate, Mark Companion, who's actually our current student board member. And so he's running for a kind of just regular board position. I know he said he was planning to be here, but I think he said he couldn't make it. And there's no one else I'm missing, right? Okay.
I think you're good, Justin.
Okay, thank you. And so there'll be a ballot coming out probably Monday, and it'll be open for, I think, about 3 weeks or 21 days. And then we'll probably have to have another little election for secretary. And I mean, hopefully we have a student candidate by then, but that certainly is the plan. Anybody have any questions about any of that?
Would you like to identify your committee people?
Oh, yeah, I should do that.
Because one's here.
Uh-huh. Well, there's a couple. So
Good.
Jimmy Morris, our vice president, and okay, yeah, Melanie Bush also here. And then we also had another board member. Oh, sorry, and Kristen. I missed that you came in. Kristen Sims, another board member, and Meredith Bride, also a board member. And then we also had Rajiv Paniker as a member of that committee.
Great.
And thank you all for your assistance.
Yeah, thanks. Kristen, you had your hand up. Were you going, did you wanted to say something?
No, I was trying to put a thumbs up, but I hit
Okay.
raise hand instead.
Okay, that's okay. Thanks. Okay, that concludes the committee report. So you can see that we've had a busy year, but we have some time for questions for any and all of us, and maybe some introductions from people we didn't hear from, like Carolyn and Morris, I think, and Judy. What happened to one person was here I was looking at. So if you want to, Carolyn, you want to introduce yourself? Where are you from? And
hello all, I'm Caroline Karbowski. I'm from Ohio. I'm in Ohio State's comms program. I'll graduate in summertime. I heard about the program from two people, like some people from Helen Keller and someone from New Mexico. So I thought, okay, I'll come on in. So what I really like is the collaboration between like guide dog instructors, NOMC, comms, as well as the work with like city planners and thinking about like APS systems and stuff. So I have a lot of city planning friends and we talk a lot. And like, so I think that was really exciting. And I'm also a Braille transcriber and I run C3D 3D printing for the blind. We do a lot of 3D printed models. And I also have a company called A-Cube Design, and we're making a more affordable Braille display. And a lot of this is run by Ohio State students.
good. So you're currently a student?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck to you. Okay,
Thanks.
Judy, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Judy Porro. Did I come up in the video?
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. Anyways, my name is Judy Porro, and I've been in O&M for about 6.5 years. I worked at the Miami Lighthouse for most of that time. I'm now an independent contractor. I work with the Florida Outreach Center for the Blind in Palm Beach County, and I also contract with the Miami Lighthouse. And before that, I was a special education teacher in Virginia.
Well, we're glad you joined us. Good, thank you.
Sure. I love O&M, so it's, I really do.
Rachel, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rachel Caleri. I'm the current chair of AER's O&M division, and I'm glad to be an OMSA member as well. Sorry, I'm walking here where I can put the camera on. We are hoping to, the division is planning a forum in the spring. I'm sorry, were you asking for an update or just a hello?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Rachel.
Sorry,
I was asking for an introduction, but that's all right. You can promote the division.
Well, maybe I could just mention that we are hoping in the spring, we've started planning a virtual forum for organizations with a focus on O&M, and of course, OMSA's top of the list to ask for your collaboration. So I hope that when you get that request that you'll join us on that along, with other organizations who choose to join us as well. So hopefully we will be working with you on that in the spring for a forum. Thought it would be nice to have sort of a broad forum of O&M organizations to learn about each other's organizations.
Most definitely. We would support that.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, good. Maurice? You pronounce it, did I mispronounce that?
You're looking for Maury?
Yes. Go ahead.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, so I'm a comms and a CLVT, along with being a OMSA member, I'm a AER member. And it's been a pleasure to be part of the organization, so thank you.
Okay. Kristen Sims, you want to introduce yourself to the group? I hear some noise,
Yes.
but I did. Okay.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was trying to also get to a room where I can turn my video on.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kristen Sims. I am an NOMC. I've been teaching for about 18 years, and I currently work at Louisiana Tech Institute on Blindness, which does the structured discovery program. So that's our NOMC candidates come through Louisiana Tech, and so I'm the instructor there.
Good. Thanks. So Lucas, you had a question you want to ask Justin? Go back to your question.
Yeah, hi. Just to repeat the question, I had a conversation with a former professor at a university just today, actually, and was told that enrollment at the university as a whole has dropped significantly on campus. So there are still plenty of undergraduates, but many are doing distance ed for their undergrad, so that the number of students on campus has decreased by about a third or more from its high point, which is of concern in terms of the education on-campus education of O&M specialists. I wondered what your experience is at UK, just overall, enrollment on campus.
Well, I mean, so they're always pushing distance education for sure, whether it's undergrad, whether it's graduate, like any course or program that can be more distance education they're in favor of. But our enrollment has actually gone up like the past 2 years. So they did a big push right after COVID. And I think like we're actually higher numbers now than even before COVID. So it's gone up significantly. I don't know why that is, but they've certainly been pushing enrolling as many students as they can just overall at the university. But I mean, as far as actually on-campus stuff for O&M, I feel like so many of the programs now are just distance-based to begin with. Like, I mean, we try to cater so much to just making the students come for a couple weeks in the summer and then for like a couple weekends like each semester. And I mean, I know every program's different and some still have students on campus, but I mean, I feel like we've gotten to the point where it actually works pretty well. It's taken a while, but I think the distance part has actually turned out fairly well. Like once you get used to Zoom and teaching like this, and
Right, great, thanks. Well, I'm encouraged to hear that at least at UK, your numbers as a on-campus program are up, because that's really alarming if so much education is happening online and the campuses are thinning out. That's really discouraging. So I'm glad to hear it's not maybe it is a national trend. I don't know what's going on anyway, but thanks, Justin.
Melanie, I forgot to have you introduce yourself. I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's fine. So I'm Melanie Bush, and I live in North Central Montana in Great Falls, and I am a comms, and I currently am teaching adults, and they're really quite advanced adults in that most of them are in their 80s and 90s. So it's been a great gig, and still hanging in there. And I was sharing with Kristen how much I appreciate this group. It's just been a real lifeline in terms of feeling some kind of connection. So thank you.
And thank you. Thank you for serving on the committee and for being such a consistent participant to our Mobility Mondays as well as to our town halls. We have enjoyed you being part of them too. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay. Well, I thank all of you, and I thank especially the board. We had a long board meeting last night, a little bit longer than our usual 1 hour. So I thank you again for giving time this evening, and thank you, Lucas, for coming in and being a part of this group. Lucas got off the board last year, so we have missed him as part of our board discussion. So I'm glad we were able to have you come as part of this group. So thank you very much. And thanks to all of you for attending. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Stay warm and healthy. And we'll see you again. Our next town hall meeting will be, Megan, can you remember when that is? Well, anyways, you'll get a notice from Kristen and watch your emails. But also look for those Mobility Monday coming out, the announcements coming out, especially the 3 series from BZ, and the next one that we're having, the next Mobility Monday is on Liz, what is it going to be on?
The Vision Serve Alliance, the big data. I don't think it's specifically about the big data project, but
it's about the aging.
The
aging thing.
aging
So
culture.
yeah, Lee's going to be talking to us about that. So that's Mobility Monday on December the 11th. I got that date right?
December 11th. Yep, correct.
Yes, thank you.
And
Okay.
Megan just put February 28th as the next town hall.
February 28th is the next town hall. We're having them quarterly now rather than every year. Thanks, Justin, for catching that. Okay, good seeing all of you. Good seeing you, Rachel. Let me know. We're more than happy to participate in any collaboration with the division.
Great. We'll be in touch soon. Thanks.
Okay. Good night.
Thank y'all all.
Thank you.
Be well.